I have a pantry that has glass cabinet doors. I don't know who thought that was a good idea because you can see everything. But now it's forcing me to not only be organized but make it pretty. So I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna show you guys 3 DIYs that I'm going to use to make this thing more organized and more beautiful.
Obviously, the first thing I had to do was take everything out of there, so I removed everything and then sprayed down the shelves and wiped them down. So for the top shelf, I just tackled my massive tea collection. This was mostly empty boxes at this point that were just piled high. So I went through, cleaned out a lot of those boxes, and then for the boxes where I still had tea, I organized it into this really pretty tea container from World Market. And then I just had to take the cereal boxes out. I put the cereal into clear plastic boxes that keep it better, and that was it for the top shelf. I started by popping out all of the shelves from my pantry. I got very lucky that these just came right out so I could just do the back in one fell swoop. I used some wallpaper from Rifle Paper Co. and I basically just stuck that to the wall, and then all I had to do was put the shelves back in, and I was immediately obsessed with how this looks. I love the extra color, I love the girliness of the florals, it just made me super duper happy. And now let's move on to my spice rack DIY. I decided to kind of make my own spice jars so that all of my jars could look the same. I started with just plain glass jars, and then I grabbed a Sharpie and I wrote the name of the spices on each of the bottles. And then for my bigger jars, I did the same thing but with a fine point because it was a little bigger and it matched the size of the jars better. Once that was done, I just popped in a spice rack and lined everything up. I love how this turned out because it's uniform, it's alphabetized so I can actually find my spices now, and it just makes me feel more excited to cook. And finally, it's time for basket makeover because these wicker baskets are not good for holding food. If you spill food in there, you can't get it all out, so then you get bugs and germs, it's bad. So I replaced them with these plastic ones from the Container Store. They're actually a little bigger too, so that helps. So I just sorted everything into the new baskets. This time I'm making pretty labels for each of the baskets. I think the basket organizing system is really helpful because you don't have to have everything perfectly in place, but it is more organized and easy to find this way, especially now that things are labeled. I'm not going to be putting them back in the wrong baskets anymore. And that is my pantry makeover. I cannot get over how different it looks. It looks so much more organized, so much more beautiful. It makes me smile now. And that's the whole reason to really get creative and try new things, is to bring more happiness into your home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Try this out in your closets or your medicine cabinets or whatever.